This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
I heard his lawyer say, well, this is going to be more than just about a check, but he still included the word check in there. So there's going to be a check involved, but if he's really serious about this, it has to be about some type of change that he's going to try to force, correct?
Correct. And then he said that, in fact, the lawyers also have said, they're not settling. And they've also said that even if he does land one of the 4 remaining jobs that are open, well, I guess 3, because I'm guessing the Dolphins are not rehiring him. So if he doesn't land one of those 3 remaining jobs, the lawsuit is still on the books. And dude, the guy's not wrong in terms of what the problem is and what he's looking to change, but I'm not exactly sure what this. It's a very obvious problem without a clear solution, because ultimately, can you really tell an owner you've got to hire this particular person?
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Thank you for at least having that common sense, because some people don't get that. It's like some guy was like, oh, we stand for it. And I'm like, stand for it, dude. You stand in line for it. You pay tickets. You pay hats and jerseys. You don't change. Ray Rice can beat a woman, and there are women outside with free Ray Rice jerseys and signs. They're Teflon, and they know they're Teflon, and they can get away with this kind of stuff. So how do you force these owners unless we see what's happened in basketball, correct? Where the faces of the owners are changing, and that they all don't look the same color, and they all don't have the same sex, and you know what I'm saying? And there's been diversity in that league. This is the league that has had no diversity at the top. That's the problem. And
you completely nailed it right there. It's like every single solitary owner is, there's not one black owner. So
there's no Latin owner. There's no, and there's no Asian. Although Shad Khan,
correct, right? The only one.
The only one. Mm-hmm. Only one. And he's got Jacksonville.
Right.
He doesn't have New York, LA, or Chicago.
But they look like they were on the verge of hiring. Supposedly they were on the verge of hiring Byron Leftwich, and all of a sudden it's fallen by the wayside from all reports, because he wants to hang on to Trent Baalke as his GM, when everybody in Jacksonville is saying that's a complete abomination to keep that guy around.
Everybody in the NFL knows Trent Baalke, bro. Why would you, after everything that happened in San Francisco, why would you want to hire Trent Baalke? How does that guy still get jobs? That's the amazing part to me about Trent Baalke.
Forget hiring him. You're basically hanging on to him at the cost of a potential head coach you want. I mean, that's weird.
It's the weirdest thing, dude. I give him credit, bro, because somehow or another he stays employed and is stealing money and doing a great job at it, bro. I got to give him credit. Now, my gut tells me that Flo is not lying about the 100K, but brother, he's got to have the proof, right? I mean, this has got to be, if it's a he said thing, he's done, because although, I mean, are the people that were there in that circle, whoever it was, are they going to be willing to perjure themselves? How far is this thing going to go? But I got to think that if he said this, it's not like he was just throwing stuff out there. There's got to be some truth to this.
No, and if having been around Flores for 3 years, I'd be tempted to think, and it's not the kind of accusation.
I know where you're going.
Not the kind of accusation you make. Specifically, if he was going to make it up, why did he throw out $100,000, and why not a different figure amount? Now we have the Cameron Wolf report as well, saying that he's spoken to somebody, to a witness who heard Ross make the offer. Obviously, it's more powerful if you have some kind of a text or an email or something. Although, I mean, no offense to anybody out there, but you have to be some kind of dumb to make an offer like that in writing.
Yes, you would have to be. See, the problem we have here is with Ross going to try to lure Harbaugh when he had Sperano. That's what opens the door to make it believable for Ross. Like, okay, well, dude, he did go to Harbaugh when he had Sperano in place, so he would do shady stuff like this, and that's kind of the whole thing. That it's almost a guilty by association type of thing that falls with Ross. Now, I've said this, Alan. I think the NFL is going to galvanize itself with the Dolphins, and if there's any truth with Cleveland, because instead of going after these teams, I think it's more important for them to protect them like they did Washington, because, and, Snyder. So I almost feel like the Dolphin fan that thinks this might lead to freeing yourself of Ross, I think actually it might end up being the opposite. The NFL may not want to know the truth because it's more important to protect the shield than to protect the Dolphins or Washington logos.
Protect the shield. Unless, and let me throw something out there, and this is just, again, throwing an idea out there. Unless NFL owners decide they'd rather throw Stephen Ross under the bus to keep focus away from anybody else, from any other.
But they save Snyder. Ross is
maybe. But here's the thing, though. Ask yourself, among NFL owners, do you think they would be more troubled by what Stephen Ross is accused of, or by Daniel Snyder and the vile emails and the...
Yeah. Snyder doesn't affect them. Ross affects everyone. Correct. No, you're right, dude. Yeah. No.
This is the Big O Show.